You have just tapped into the Christian Life Coach Collective, and I'm your host, Laura Malone. I'm here to equip and encourage coaches in skills, business, personal life, and faith. I believe you're already 100% worthy and capable, and you're called for such a time as this. So let's get you walking it out with courage and confidence so you can be an amazing coach who sees transformation and great results in both your life and the lives around you. Let's get started. I wanted to add to the last episode and give you some examples of what consultant coaching might look like. So it would be a hybrid role where you're offering both coaching, asking, listening, and guiding, and consulting, like advising, teaching, strategizing, based off of your lived experience and expertise, your skills, your wisdom, your giftings, right? So one, very much me, is business startup and strategy consultant coach. So it's really valuable because a lot of people want to start businesses but feel overwhelmed and don't know where to begin. I can help anybody start any kind of business, but I'm very dialed in to starting a coaching business, and I'm really dialed in to being a mom who has worked from home, stayed at home, homeschooled, and learned how to take what I've done and turn that into consultant coaching, right? I've gone through life coaching, the general version. I've gone through multiple, I can help everybody. I've niched down, I've pivoted, I've done all these things, and I've come up with what I wish that I had known and created a strategy out of that. You could do that if I have a friend who is a dance teacher. She started a dance business for homeschoolers, and she could turn that into a framework and a strategy and be a consultant coach for other women who want to do the same thing. So what you bring is that you've built your own business or your side hustle and creative, whatever, your ministry, whatever, and you can walk other people through the foundational steps. Maybe it's branding and offers or pricing. Maybe it's the tech side, the systems, the confidence, the mindset. It could be like if you're a mom who built a business from home, you could help other moms launch their own purpose-driven business with, simple, spiritually aligned strategies or something like that. A second one would be like content and messaging consultant coach. That's, coaches and writers and creatives, small business owners. Everybody struggles to communicate clearly and authentically online. So if that's something you're good at, because you've developed your own voice and grown an audience, you've launched offers using your own content, then you would be able to help them navigate what it is that they want to say, figure out how to say it, where's the best place to say it, right? So if maybe you were a former copywriter or a blogger, you could help coach others to clarify their message and write with heart, build trust that converts people from readers and listeners into customers or clients. You could be a life and purpose consultant coach because people are always craving personal clarity, to know who they are, what they're here for, where they fit. But also they want somebody who can speak wisdom into the bigger picture. So if you've walked through your own identity crisis or a big transition, or you've discovered your calling, you can guide other people through that, right? Through their own crisis, through their own transition, or into their own discovery. So for example, a woman who rebuilt her life after being burnt out in, the corporate world or something like that, maybe she helps other people align their identity with their choices and kind of redesign their life and rhythm around what really matters to them, right? You could be a ministry or faith-based consultant coach. There's a lot of leaders and pastors' wives or women in ministry out there who feel isolated and unclear about how they grow personally, how they shift their own life, their trajectory, and they need a safe place to walk that out. So maybe if you've lived in or led through ministry or church life or faith-based leadership, you understand the nuances and the challenges with that, then you could be a consultant coach for somebody in that situation. So if you were a former women's ministry leader, that you now you can coach other women to navigate the faith-based leadership role, help them to prevent burnout, deal with compassion fatigue, and reimagine how they can serve the people they really care about. You could be a parenting and homeschool consultant coach. That's really valuable because parents want more than just tips. They actually want help making decisions that fit their family and who they are and how they parent and lead. So if you have homeschooled or intentionally raised your kids a certain way or supported parents through special needs or transitions or blended families, like all of those things, that's so valuable. An example would be a homeschool mom of five, a mom with 5 kids, who helps newer moms find confidence and customize their homeschool life and rhythm and plan, and then helps them to lead their family with grace instead of guilt, right? Dealing with the mom guilt, dealing with all the stuff that's on their plate. Those are just 5 simple examples of how you could take something that you've done in your life and offer both coaching, which means letting what's in them rise up to the top, and consulting, which lets what is in you rise up to the top, and blend the asking, listening, and guiding with the advising, teaching, and strategizing, because you have so much experience that you've lived through, and there are people who would pay you to help them figure out what their next steps are. Take imperfect action. Just somebody who reaches out their hands and says, I'll walk with you. You can do that. So I hope that this inspires you. I want you to sit down and think, like, what is possible in my life? What have I done? And if you ever have the thought, nobody else needs that, nobody else wants that, I'm the only person, I need you to check yourself. Take it to Jesus. And actually go do some research. Google it. Do other women need this? Do other women struggle with that? Do other people, men, children, professionals, whatever, is this something other people think? Because there's nothing new under the sun, friend. And if you think what you carry is not valuable, you are wrong. And I want you to go listen to the Storymaker Show, my other podcast. And I want you to listen to episode 18 about taking your thoughts captive and actually how to do it, how to determine what the thought is you're thinking when you think something like this, how to confine it, how to dig for the truth and challenge the thought up against the truth, right? And I actually give you a 6-step process of how to literally take your thoughts captive, like the Bible says to do, like Paul tells us, encourages us to do. Take your thoughts captive to the obedience of Christ. I'm going to teach you how to do that, episode 18 of the Storymaker Show. And I want you to take whatever you believe about yourself and the lack of value, the lack of desire for what you carry in your story, and I want you to take that thought captive. And I want you to decide whether you're going to keep it because it's aligned with truth, or you're going to cast it away because it's not, and choose to renew your mind with truth, because there's something really powerful in you that the world needs. And I want to help you call it up and release it. Okay? Bless you. I bless the calling on your life. And I'll talk to you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening. For more coaching resources and to learn how to work with me, head to sterlingandstonementoring.com or click the link in the show notes. Remember, walk boldly in your calling, and I'll talk to you next time.